What's up, everybody? Nate here from Out of the Basement, bringing you a brand new action figure review. Today from McFarlane Toys, we are finally taking a look at the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. It has been an incredibly long time since we've gotten an articulated Spawn figure like this from McFarlane Toys, so this is easily one of my most anticipated figures of the year, and I can't wait to show you guys how awesome this guy really is. Picked mine up at GameStop. Well, I pre-ordered it a while ago, and then they finally got mine in, so I was able to get it, and I'm happy to finally have it because this thing is a beast. So let's take a look at the package here. Of course, you got the Mortal Kombat logo at the top. You got Spawn down at the bottom. You got a nice picture of Spawn, the in-game model, and the figure, it looks like. Or no, maybe those are both the figure. Either way, nice picture of Spawn on the side. On the back, another promo image of Spawn right here. You can see 22 points of articulation. On the side here, another Mortal Kombat logo. On the bottom, there's the barcode and all that. And then on the top, you got a nice window package and me. What's up? So let's go ahead and get this guy out of the packaging and take a closer look. We'll take a look at his accessory and then the figure itself. All right, and first up, I'll show you this little background piece because I just thought it looked very visually appealing, very green. And of course, you got the Mortal Kombat logo, and then you have the standard Mortal Kombat McFarlane Toys base down there, which I'm just gonna leave in the package because it's pretty much worthless anyway. But yeah, that is one of the accessories. And then here is his one and only real accessory, and that is his sword, which he uses in the game. I have not played Mortal Kombat 11. I'm not the biggest fan of Mortal Kombat. But of course, I was not going to pass up an articulated Spawn figure, so definitely was very excited to pick this one up. And already you can see that the details on this piece is incredible. Really great sculpt work, a variety of textures on the blade. You've got like a nice rough texture on the interior of the blade, and then of course like a smoother metal, and it is completely washed in a nice black, so you get those details to pop out there. And man, that just looks killer. The handle, really awesome, nice red, really clean paint apps for the most part. There's a little bit of red on the silver thing in the middle there, but yeah. And then of course it's got his logo right there, which is very tiny, but look at how well the eyes are painted. That is awesome. Looks very good. Very impressed with how this sword turned out. Of course, he should have come with a gun. He should have, I mean, even though he doesn't use a gun in Mortal Kombat, McFarlane could have thrown us a bone and gave us like a machine gun or something. Luckily, I have some other Spawn figures and guns from them, and I will show you how well they fit into his hand. But yeah, really wish we could have gotten some guns with Spawn. Hopefully down the road we get maybe another release of this figure, a little bit different paint scheme or something with some guns. That would be awesome, but for now this sword will have to do. So dig the sword. Now let's take a look at Al. All right, and here is Spawn out of the packaging, and he just looks fantastic. Of course, I'm pretty late on this review. Most other people got theirs super early or found them at Walmart's, but the closest Walmart that had mine was over an hour away, and I wasn't about to drive all that distance to probably not even find the figure, which I think is what happened to a lot of people. And this boy is a hefty boy. My stand is struggling to move him along because he weighs so much. But take a look at this cape right here, and I'll give you a closer look at everything else, but him just on the stand, I'm so impressed with the level of detail that McFarlane put into this figure. Of course, they're always great on the detail side of things. So let's not waste any more time here. I think my stand is about had it with Spawn on it, so we'll take him off and get a closer look at the figure. All right, so here we are up close and personal with Spawn, and this just looks amazing. Look at all that sculpted detail. Definitely has a Spawn movie vibe with the way the costume looks. It's very reminiscent of like a symbiotic Venom-esque design, which of course, I mean, Spawn and Venom definitely have similarities. But taking a close look at the head here, you can see how well it's painted. The eyes look absolutely incredible. They really pop out there with, it's a very neon looking green paint, which of course matches Spawn completely. And they did a little dark ring of paint around the eyes so they pop even more. And you can see that the white parts of the figure are not just a clean white, They are a little bit dirty. The whole figure has a wash over it. It seems to be like a gray wash, and then the cape has more of like a black wash on it. But it really pops out a lot of those details. You can see on the skull, down there at the bottom, on all of the pouches and such. Really, really nice details there. Look at how clean that is painted, and the wash just makes it look so damn good. And even on the head here, going back, you can almost see it kind of looks like there's a face under there. You can definitely see like a little bit of the nose and the mouth, and that is just an insane level of detail there. The light's hitting it really good right there. And the white parts are actually raised. It's a raised sculpt on there, so really, really incredible stuff here. We'll take a look at the gauntlet right here, which again looks absolutely fantastic. And he is pretty pointy, so posing this guy, I'm kind of just like, it's the good old days of messing with Spawn figures and getting this shit poked out of you with all of his spikes. But yeah, again, a nice clean wash on the gauntlet here to give it a really nice detail. And these spikes look great. They're not as even as I recall them, but it kind of looks like the spikes are coming out of Al's arm, and they've sort of broken through. You can see there's definitely like some damage there of where these spikes have broken through the gauntlet, and that is a really, really interesting design. On the other arm here, we've got some more of that great detail, and again, you can see more of that cracking and like breaking through the gauntlet, and that just looks absolutely wonderful. The hand as well could be painted a little bit cleaner, but it's so small you're not really ever even going to notice that. On the belt here, taking a look at the skull, looks really nice. This is nice and soft plastic, so it's not going to inhibit the articulation at all. And like I was saying, has a really nice wash on it. And if we flip the cape up, there's even details on the back. There's your Spawn butt right there, but the skull on the back, also awesome. The wash is all the way through the figure. You even have more of that white sculpt, which is also raised. It's more raised stuff on the figure, and even the buckle here in the back has some really nice details to it. And the cape here also looks absolutely incredible. It's got a bunch of different layers. It's nice and tattered, looks very spawny, and it's pretty soft. Like you can see, you can move it all the way around. It is glued down right there, and you have the like McFarlane legalese right there, but it is nice and soft, so I don't think it's going to inhibit the articulation much, and you will be able to pose it if you have a stand or something. So that's really not bad. Of course, everyone and their mother would want a soft goods cape, but this is, as far as plastic capes go, this is definitely how you do it. So there you go. Really nice detail there. Really great wash. Love the way that looked out. The texturing just looks incredible. I'm so happy, so satisfied with this Spawn figure. It's been a long time coming. Of course, I do kind of wish his eyes were more of like the classic Spawn eyes, but you know, I'll put up with it. I'll put up with it. Moving down here on the boot right here, again, more of that same level of detail. The wash with the spikes breaking through and all that, and the boot is hollow, so you can still get that foot articulation out of there. And then on this leg, again, some more spikes and everything, and that just looks so damn good. Really happy with the details of this Spawn figure. Of course, McFarlane always nails the details, and with his baby, they definitely went above and beyond. And I hope we can get some more 6 or 7 inch scale Spawn figures. I know they're doing that Kickstarter thing, but not really into the whole idea of collecting 4 to 5 inch figures. I definitely would want to see some more stuff in scale with this guy, although obviously it's the Mortal Kombat interpretation. So let's go ahead and take a look at his articulation, because that is also no joke. Okay, so for articulation, Spawn can look up about that far, and it's kind of hard to see with his cape in the way. It's nice and soft though, it's pliable, so you don't have to worry about that breaking or anything. He can look down a decent amount. You get plenty of side to side here. Of course, you can get all that attitude in there. The head rotates, but definitely gets stopped at the cape, although it's soft enough you can rotate it all the way around. Really nice head articulation, looking very good. You can even see, get him some nice looking up poses and stuff like that. These shoulders move all the way out perfectly. I wonder if they can Yeah, they can even go further than that. Look at that. That is a really nice arm articulation. Again, the cape is it's soft but firm, so it's not really inhibiting the articulation, and I love that. Of course, the arms can rotate all the way around, like so, and the cape, again, doesn't get in the way. There is the butterfly joint, which works really well. Of course, you can see he's pretty stiff and creaky at the moment. But I do think that the butterfly joint gets a little inhibited by the sculpt of the costume right there. I feel like it could probably have some more range if they cut a little bit more out of the sculpt, but that's really not a big deal. Of course, you've got the bicep swivel right there. Double jointed elbows. They give you a decent amount of range, pretty much 90, but of course the design of Spawn is really going to inhibit the elbow articulation with the gauntlets and such, and ow, I'm poking myself and it hurts. On the wrist, you have those McFarlane pegs that you can work to move either side to side or up and down, but of course it's going to be a lot harder to pull off on Spawn, especially this arm with the big gauntlet on it. And maybe even this arm too, because it's kind of buried in there. But of course you get the rotation. And yeah, you can see there, I kind of moved it around. So you just got to work at it and you can get it to move in any direction you'd like. I do like those wrist joints, and it works really well for Spawn because they are pretty hidden on the actual figure. As far as ab crunch is concerned, he's got a double one. So he's got a cut at the top here and then at the waist. So for the top range of motion, you get about that much out of it, and then doesn't really go back at all. And then when you combine it all together though, with his feet flat on the ground, this is the kind of articulation you're looking at. So that's both joints working together. That's about as far as the crunch will go forward. And that is really amazing. Really good stuff there. And then on the way back, you don't really get a whole lot, but it is there. That's kind of how he is with his feet flat on the ground. So actually, you know what? That's kind of a lot of range there. And you can see the sculpt continues all the way down, really deep into the joint there. That's nice. The legs can kick out about that far with his feet flat on the ground. The double knee actually still works really well, even on the big boot leg here. It's not even fully touching. Here, let me see if I can. He doesn't really have a thigh swivel, but that's about what you get. Of course, the spike starts getting in the way there on that leg. And we'll do the other leg as well, so you can kind of see the non. So yeah, without the boot on, absolutely amazing double jointed knee right there. Incredible. Like I said, there's no thigh cut. Definitely think I pinched his leg out a little bit too far. His cod piece is soft, really soft plastic there, so definitely lets you get some range out of there. Of course, Spawn can do the splits if you so choose. And then moving down to the feet, the non-boot foot moves about that far down, moves about that far up, and has toe articulation. And then for the boot foot, it moves down about that far, moves up an okay amount, and then of course still has the toe articulation there. So really, really awesome work here from McFarlane. So happy to finally have a nice articulated Spawn figure. And stay tuned till the end of the video, because I'll show you some nice little poses that I'll get him into during my little end of the video montage. So now we're going to compare him to some other figures. Tons of comparisons incoming. We're going to be doing a lot of McFarlane DC stuff. We're going to be doing a lot of old school Spawn figures, some Marvel Legends even, so definitely stay tuned. And let's just do that right now. I will mention before we do a little posing here that it is a little difficult to get Spawn to sort of stand up straight because the cape is heavy, but the boot definitely helps. But you're definitely going to have to work for it. All right, so here he is with the masked and unmasked Color Tops Spawn figures. These were the last Spawn figures, I believe, that were released, with the unmasked being a Toys R Us exclusive. Then we've got the old school Spawn 3 right here with the light up eyes that actually still works to this day. Let me see if you can, yeah, you can kind of see it there. Oh, it's going in and out. super surprised it still works at all. And of course, he's got the giant freaking cape. And then the Adventures of Spawn, Spawn X, which I recently did a review of this, and you should definitely check that out. And then here he is with the McFarlane toys Superman and Batman. Then with the armored Superman and Hellbat Batman. Then we've got him here with the McFarlane toys Nightwing and the NECA toys Michelangelo. And then here he is with the Marvel Legends Angela and the Marvel Legends Cable, looking really great together. I especially like the scale between Angela and Spawn. I'm glad that that kind of still fits in there, because if you didn't know, she was an Image Comics character before she made her way into the Marvel Universe, but definitely bought this figure because it's a great articulated Angela, and she still kind of looks like the character. And finally, here he is with the Marvel Select Venom. And I think these two actually look really great together. This is my favorite Venom figure. And you could kind of see, like I was talking about earlier, the suit details are very, very similar with like the symbiotic sculpt design work on here. And that is just fantastic. So now let's mess around with Spawn a little bit, put some different weapons into his hands, see what works, see what doesn't. Let's do it. All right, here he is with the Color Tops Spawn gun, the big gun. This is from the unmasked head, which is actually slightly different paint apps, but it fits really great in his hand and looks awesome. Really dig the way this actually looks with the Spawn figure. Looks like it fits in scale really well. Of course, Spawn is always a gun user. So like I said earlier, I wish we could have gotten some, but luckily I had these other Spawn figures that came with some weaponry. All right, and here he is with the pistols from the Color Tops figures, and that just, oh man, looks so good. Love the way that these are actually fitting into his hands properly. It was a little bit tricky to get this hand to get the finger on the trigger, but I ended up getting it, and man, that is just so dope. Get a quick pose here. Oh yeah, maybe the head tilt down a little bit. Absolutely badass. And we've got from NECA Toys the Police Terminator, this one. Not the Tech Noir, but this one. It's his assault rifle there. Looks pretty good. Of course, it's definitely going to be small enough. So Spawn can definitely hold it with both of his hands, but that one looks kind of tiny. And here he is with the shotgun from the same figure. And then we've got the shotgun from the NECA Planet of the Apes Caesar, which I don't think works very well. It's kind of like bent as hell in his hand. And then let's do some of Cable's weapons. You guys are familiar with this Cable. He comes with quite a few weapons. Of course, they're not painted or anything like that. God, that was stuck in the holster. But they are like Rob Liefeld style Image Comics. Ooh. Ooh. Loosey, a little loosey-goosey in the hand, but not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, that's dope. The smaller gun, I assume, will have a similar result. Looking awesome there. Kind of like a smaller double-barrel shotgun. And of course, we got the big boy, the rocket launcher, which doesn't quite fit right. Suppose you could have him holding it like this if you really wanted to. But as for like a shoulder firing look, maybe I could get it with the other hand. Not that I would ever truly want to strip Cable of his weapons, but ow, stabby. Yeah, his elbows are just a little too inhibited for him to have like the firing back rocket pose, but still fits in his hand and looks all right. That looks all right. One thing I did want to try was to take a look at how he looks in a Blacklight. So we're going to kick some lights off here. Go total dark. I got my trusty Blacklight. Oh man, I hope you guys can see how this looks. The green eyes are absolutely popping like crazy on this. It's kind of hard to focus because it's so dark, but Holy shit, that looks awesome. All right, so that is gonna about do it for my review of Spawn. Of course, it's no surprise. I think this figure is excellent. It's been a long time coming for a nice articulated release of Spawn, and I think this absolutely nailed it. It is scratching that itch. Of course, combining it with some other weapons from some other figures is also a really awesome and fun thing to do. Hopefully you guys have some other Spawn figures to do that with, because Spawn just doesn't look right without a gun. If there is one thing I would say that is disappointing about this release, is that it didn't include at least some sort of gun. I understand the character doesn't use a gun in Mortal Kombat 11, but come on, man, it's Spawn. He uses guns. So what do you guys think of this figure? Are you going to pick this one up? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, if you enjoyed my review, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about action figure news. We also do reviews on the channel as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Nate from Out of the Basement, and I'll see you guys next time.